Morning, blessed love one and all. I am making a trek up to the back of the yard. So, I have to be very cautious about where I place my feet. So, okay, so I am almost at the garden. Woo, woo. Okay, then. All right. Um, Let me pan you around so you can see what was done up here to kind of clear the way, so to speak. Yes, so I have entered the garden. So let me pan you around from the garden and show you what took place in terms of, all right, so the space to come into the garden is now clear. So all of the bush that was overgrown was chopped down. You notice some of them never even chopped down properly, but listen, I am so grateful that the space is open up and I can actually move. Lord and butter, look at dried bean on my plant. Look at dried bean. Folks, I can tell you now, this garden has suffered 6 solid months of neglect. There's green bean on there as well, you know. So the green beans, those are partially dried. More green beans, more green beans. I want you to see them. More green beans. People, you can't go wrong with some plant, you know. Beans are one of those plants that you can never go wrong with. Them can struggle and surpass some terrible environmental challenges and still produce beans. I encourage everybody, when you're planting, plant beans. Great food to plant. Something else that I've come to learn is a very good thing to plant is this Malabar spinach, because you talk about almost 7 months of neglect and the thing is still thriving. Hold on, let me show you. So it is planted over here. Not right here, but in this bed. That is dry like chip, but you'd never know because the spinach is as green as grass. I'm going to show you the pepper plants that have been enduring the same amount of neglect. These are peppers, you know, that have been neglected and still have on pepper on there. That's pepper. You talk 6 months of neglect. You know what I am learning from these plants? I am learning that resilience comes from some places where you don't even realize. Because who could have tell me, say, a pepper plant could have suffered 7 months of neglect and still be bearing, still looking this green and lush. Me see the leaf them pan there. I see the leaves on the cassava drying up. Is that a sign that it is ripe? I don't have a clue. Me plant cassava, but me don't know how cassava grow. The stick them look mager though, so maybe this evening, if I get home early enough, I'll come and I'll try to see what's going on. Hold on, I'm going to carry you right down to where that orange tree is. And I'll give you a story on the orange tree. Before I get to the orange tree, I want you to see that my ackee is growing. My ackee is growing, y'all. My ackee is growing. Did I tell you that I had a whole ackee tree that was bearing and it was chopped down by the neighbor? Let's not go there. It's a very sticky subject. All right. I have moringa growing in places I don't have a need to have moringa growing. All right, guys. So here is the orange tree that is in the backyard. The last time I showed this orange tree, it was about yay big. So in 7 months, this orange tree, so it's neglect the orange tree, they don't want all this time to grow. This orange tree has been up here for what? Almost 5 years. And it has only ever put on blossoms. It has never kept a blossom on there. But now the orange tree is growing. Citrus dog, I do a number upon it though. But I'm happy to see that it is growing. If I didn't know all I had to do was neglect this plant all this time, I'd have neglected the thing and it would have been bigger than this. What do you think? Look on the slug on the limb. Oh my God. Oh my God. Him itchan for dear life. All right, so this is the guava plant. Still have some guavas on there. Guava. Can you all see? The sun is glaring in my eye. All right, maybe I'm gonna have to pull him down and take the picture. Guava. All right, wrong direction. I'm not seeing a God thing. I'm telling you, I'm learning this thing, y'all. Be patient with me. Ah, I can see the guava now. I can see the other guava over there. There's more guava on there. There's guava there. Yeah. The guava tree is going on with things. This cherry tree though needs some help. The leaves are as perforated as. So this is loaded down with insmec. So I'm going to have to come and prune this back heavily. That look like a job for later. So I'm going to be pruning this cherry tree back heavily. Truth and in fact, I'm going to be taking off all the limbs that comes towards the guava tree and the ones that are in the pathway around that side so that I can walk freely in this garden. Yep. Changes are coming, folks. Changes are coming. I'm working on it. You are seeing all of this with me because this is my first time taking this kind of a good notice in the garden. All right, so I hear a joke about these canna lilies. These were planted years ago and I thought that they had died. Now tell me how on earth, after I have grown so many other things in this garden bed, did these lilies come back up? I am telling you, strange things are happening around here. All right, so I'll show you my very resilient basil because this is the shocker of all shockers. I never knew that basil had this level of, so who plant bean here, sir? But look at this. All right, I guess this is a volunteer bean right here and it is in bearing. Don't laugh, y'all, because I did not plant bean in this bed. I guess this is from seed that pop out of a shell and has dispersed. Look, bearing and blossoms are on there. Look at God. Look, more bearings. Yeah, more bearing. Look, and I tell you, there's a piece of steel and it not wrapping on the steel, You know where it wrapping on? It wrapping on one of the wild tamarind that self-seeded in my garden. I'm telling you, God is an awesome God. Awesome God. Awesome God. Sugarcane, after being blown down, them still not dead. Me not understand this. This not nothing. This is not into anything. I think I'm going to come and chop it up and plant it back. Yeah, I think I should do that. What do you think? It can grow. It have an eye. So I'm going to come chop it and replant it. See another pepper tree over there doing fabulously as well. People, remember how long I have not been able to come into this garden to do anything that looks like work. It has been 7 months. The pineapples that I were not able to see still alive. They have changed back from orange to green. I tell you, the magic pineapples. That's all they do is magic. All right, guys. So, who did know? Who knew? Let me speak proper English. Who knew that a basil plant had such resilience? Who could have told me, or any one of us for that matter, that a basil plant could have endured so much neglect? Guys, look at free basil seed. Free basil seed. I don't think I'm going to ever buy another basil seed. I am going to be just broadcasting these, and wherever they want to grow, they grow. Yep. So let me tell you the plan. I'm going to be rearranging the beds in this garden again. Yeah, she's like that. If it never work out for me, what I do is revisit the thing and make the necessary changes. And this layout for a while worked. But then, having been injured, I realized that, girl, you need to change the way you grow. So I'm still going to be using a bed system. Still going to be using a bed system. However, you see, whereas I have to stoop down to go into these bed, no, I'm going to have to elevate the beds. So it might mean that I'm going to have less beds because I really don't have any more cinder blocks that I can take up here and use. So what I will do is intersperse grow beds that are elevated. So all of my beds are going to become hugelculture style beds. So they'll be deep. So I'm going to have to fill the bottom with logs and all of the wood trimmings and leaves and stuff that I can find. And then I will grow. Put the soil on top of that and grow. So it means that for a while I'm going to have to top up the beds, but then the soil in the bed will become so much more enriched because all of that matter, vegetative matter, will break down over time and the soil will become enriched. So I'm in the gathering process, you all. I'm not just sitting idly by and chattering. I'm in the gathering process. So I have been gathering seeds. I've been gathering manures, all of the little amendments that I normally use in my gardens. I am gathering all of those stuff so that when the garden is thoroughly relaunched, I won't have any ifing and butting moments. So up the top where I have those pepper plants, where the fence is broken down, that is right beside the old chicken coop. All right, so for right there, my plan is to put in um, sort of like what Marie has, shelves. And if I don't do that, then what I'll do is to actually dig the soil right there, make holes and make hugelculture mounds. So it's one of two things. The mounds will be high. The mounds will be high. I had them in here already. That is when I usually plant all of the backyard. What I had done was to make hugelculture mounds and plant in the mounds. They work. They work. Why did I change from that? I changed because I desired to have less erosion when it rains. And when it rains and the water comes from up the hillside, it would degrade some of the mounds. So that was why I changed and started to grow into beds made from wood initially, and then I switched to cinder blocks. So the cassavas and all of those things is what I would want to grow on the mounds. So all of the things that would deep down, go deep rooted. So the cassavas, the sweet potatoes, the yams, that kind of a stuff is what I'd put on the mounds. Remember now, it's not carved in stone that I'm going to make these mounds because I am the person who will have to do this job. So I could go the route of growing all of these in containers, which is what I think is an easier bet for me. And in this season, Anne is looking for the easy things for Anne. Okay? However, up the top, up the top, I believe would do better with containers and leave the lower section, as it were, for grow beds. Pruning back the trees, this is the lone moringa that I want in the garden, but I'm going to be cutting it back again. Why? I don't want it to overshadow any of my grow beds. And that is what it is doing at this moment. It should not have gone this big, but again, 5 months of neglect, I had it where it was down to just 2 stalks going up. But now it have about 20 stalks all over the place. So, yeah. Well, folks, this is all for this morning from the jungle that used to once be my garden. Yeah. But next time you see this garden, I bet you're going to be in awe because I'm able to walk on my own 2 feet, albeit slowly, But that is where the plus is. I can move on my own 2 feet. I'm going to be revitalizing this garden, whipping it back into shape with the assistance, of course, of any able bodied person in my family who desires to come and hold something for me to screw it or nail it, or lift up the heavy things that I am not permitted to lift even now. Yes, but this garden will be whipped back into shape in the not so distant future. And I promise to take you along for this journey until we meet again on this very channel. This is Anne reminding you, if you are here and you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. To all of my subscribers, old and new, thank you. Leave a comment, like the video, share the video, and press the post notification bell so you can be made aware each time a new video is uploaded. Until we meet again, have a blessed day. Jagai.